boxing. Man in boxing, led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV. Woo!
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out. All right, man. People at DAZN believe that Serhiy Derevianchenko continues to duck Canelo. I'm going to tell you what his excuse was for not taking the Canelo fight, and I'm going to tell you what the actual numbers were. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Check out our middleweight boxing playlist for more videos like this. So I'm going to tell you the complete lowdown from what I heard, right? I heard Derevianchenko was getting more than 2.5 to fight Jermall Charlo. So he's getting more than 2.5. That's what boiled down to. So I'm not sure what the exact number is, if it's 3. Billy Joe Saunders came out and said that Derevianchenko was only offered $2.5 million to fight Canelo. And that's what Billy Joe Saunders said, but that's not true. But let's take it back to the beginning. When it was first supposed to fight, when Canelo dropped the IBF belt, he asked for $12 to $15 million. So that's what Danny Jacobs got. You know, they were stablemates for a minute. That wasn't going to happen. Canelo offered him $7 million to come over to DAZN. That's what I'm hearing from people over there, to fight Canelo. They didn't get a deal done. Canelo dropped the IBF. He fought Golovkin for $5. Okay. Now this time they offered him $5. That's what they offered. They offered him $5 million to fight Canelo. The PBC offer was more than 2.5. Let's just be nice and call it 3. But the reason he didn't take the fight is because of the weight. Derevianchenko didn't want to go up to 168 pounds. Now, in the beginning of his career, he started off at 168 pounds. One of my subs told me, and I did the research, and that's true. So the reason for Derevianchenko not taking the Canelo fight is because of the weight. All right, he's going to take a significantly less pay cut. People telling me like, well, White Carpenter said 2.5. Man, Carpenter don't know what I know. Sometimes he know more stuff. Sometimes I don't care. I knew what her name, Katie Taylor and Delphine Person. I knew that fight was gonna happen like a week before they announced it. Just didn't know the date and the venue. So he chose to, fight Charlo because of the weight, and that's the excuse. So I'm not sure if it was Al Heyman, if it was his team that made the decision, but to be honest, I think the Charlo fight is a lot better for Derevianchenko. It's a lot better for the fans. He got a great chance of winning it. It's damn near impossible to beat Canelo. So I'm not knocking him for what he done, because he give us the better fight. And, it's probably going to be on Showtime or hopefully it's Fox. And I just think that fight is a better stylistically wise. I think, we talked about it last night. Corey Lee came on, Lion Killer LC, check his channel out. Banco came on, check his channel out. And Corey Lee Boxing. And it's a better fight. I think this might be the best fight PBC might put on, man. I think it's going to be, it may not have the trash talk and all of that, but, I just think it's going to be a rock'em sock'em knockout fight. I don't think Charlo can maintain distance for the whole fight, but if he do, it might be easier fight for him. But I just think it's going to be like Korobov, where, he just going to fall into a trap and try to fight his way out the trap. And I think Derevianchenko going to get him on the inside, and they're going to be slugging it out. And Derevianchenko was smart. He'd go to the body. So, somebody asked me yesterday, like, do you think it's a duck? And I'm saying, you passed up on 2 big paydays versus him to take less money. What you call it? When the fight was at 160 for the IBF and the WBC, I think this was before he became, WBC champion. He said, $7 million wasn't enough. So he took 5 to fight Triple G. And in a lot of people's opinion, they thought he whooped on Triple G. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. This time the weight was the issue. Obviously it was a $2 million pay cut because of the pandemic, but I'm not knocking him, because what you get versus Canelo. I kind of understood why Jermall passed up that $15 million to fight Canelo. You know what you're getting. You're not going to win unless you knock him out. And if you knock him out, they're probably going to give him some smelling sauce, some ammonia, and bring him back to the ring to finish the fight off. You're going to lose. So if Mayweather go out there and outbox him for 12 rounds, you got to knock him out. Now, does Canelo, does Charlo carry the power to knock him out? Possibly. Does Derevianchenko? I don't think Derevianchenko got enough power to knock him out. But he got the stamina, and Canelo run out of gas. But, I just think guys, it ain't enough money to go in there for $7 or $5 million to get robbed versus Canelo. The fight with Charlo is more winnable. It's going to be on a bigger stage. It's going to be a more marketable fight. More people going to see the fight, especially if it's on Fox. And I think he made the right decision, to be honest. And he did a great decision for the fans. You know you're not going to beat Canelo. But they was willing to pay him more money than, they trying to get for Quigley, Darrell, whoever else on their list. I just not, just don't have no appeal. Whoever Canelo fight, when Canelo fight is just boring. You know what it's gonna be. If it didn't prove it towards with the Kovalev fight, nothing gonna prove. Kovalev went in there and took a dive, in my opinion. Have you ever seen Kovalev have no mustard on the shots? And obviously he got drained. They did 2 weigh-ins, and it's just too much stipulations that come with Canelo. Canelo has a generation of talented fighters that's in his age group. He refused to fight them. He refused to fight Jermall at 60. Now, he did offer Jermall. Now, we don't know what the stipulations was for Jermall. He refused to fight without stipulations. Andrade, you know what I'm saying? He got a lot of dudes there. But, hey, over the course of his time, he moved how he want to move. But he doing better than everybody else, it seems like, because everybody else ain't doing nothing. Who else out here, taking the risks that need to be taken at the weight classes that got the notoriety? Nobody. Welterweighting, they waiting. Welterweights, they waiting. 54 doing it, but they don't have that big splash name. It's never really been a big splash weight class unless a welterweight come up or something of that nature. Canelo and Golovkin, they had no American appeal for real because, neither one of them motherfuckers talk English like that. So the heavyweight division, they been bad for 20 years almost. And then they want to stall us out over, AJ and Wilder. Like, some people just forget it. It's too much waiting. It's too much politic, and it's too much trying to marinate, build up. All these fights we could be having, Loma, Tank, you know what I'm saying? They just don't, they don't want to give us the fights that we want to see. So, like I said before, man, UFC gonna continue to kick boxing's ass. Boxing gonna, it's gonna be messed up. But other than that, man, with Derevianchenko and Canelo, you be the judge. I'm not knocking them. I understand when you fight Canelo, it's just like, you basically, selling yourself. And do you want to lose 3 of his last 4? Because he lost 2 of his last 3 fights. So, Canelo just doing enough to be above everybody else. Nobody else taking risks. Even though he's taking risks with older fighters, who else taking risks? Everybody waiting for Pacquiao. They marinated Benavidez and Plant. They marinated Charlo, Wilder and Joshua. They could have been stars and fought 2 or 3 times, and Tyson Fury and Dillian White would be non-fucking factors. It is what it is. But Charlo, basically, he spoke to Mike Coppinger, and he said that ain't nothing been finalized with him and Derevianchenko. They still in talks. People kind of get the feel that he might, pull a Kell Brook. He might pull out. You know what I'm saying? And, if he do pull out from the fight, I doubt it. It wouldn't surprise me. Because, this dude turned down a $7 then a $10 million offer to fight Demetrius Andrade, which he ain't Canelo. I don't think they really would protect him like that in a winning fight. He turned down $15 million to fight Canelo, which was basically what Danny Jacobs got. And then he do all that to turn around and lose to fucking Derevianchenko. Now, the Derevianchenko getting around $2.5 to $3 million. Charlo got to be getting, $4.5, $5 million. So that ain't a bad payday. You know what I'm saying? That's a really good payday. And you the champion. So he at least, if Derevianchenko getting 2.5, 3, he at least got to be getting 4, right? 3.5, 4, 4.5, somewhere around there. So Al Heyman bag still hitting during the pandemic. That's because he got his money together and his investors together. But that's a good fight. But it's, to me, that ain't no, let's say one getting 3, one getting 4. That ain't no $7 million fight. You know what I'm saying? That's just not a $7 million fight. In actuality, Charlo 30 years old and don't have one signature win. For real? So you would say what? You would say J-Rock, okay. So in actuality, in an actual pay scale, Charlo should be getting $1 million and Derevianchenko should be getting $500,000. That's what type of fight this is. But I think it's going to be a great fight stylistically wise. I'm just going off name notoriety. But Charlo saying nothing finalized yet. But to me, it sounds like a setup. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just as toughest fight as Andrade. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. And it's a lose-lose. You go in there and you beat him. He lost 2 of his last 3. You go in there and struggle with him. You ain't that good. You a bum. Charlo still ain't fought nobody. You go in there and lose. We told you the Charlos wasn't that good. the position you put in. At least you lose to Demetrius Andrade, people know what type of talent he had. You lose to Canelo, you know what it is. You know, so he gonna take probably less than half not to fight Andrade, less than half, well, way less than half not to fight Canelo. And if he lose, he gonna look like an idiot. Man, he lose, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna make a whole video. I had nothing against Jermall Charlo. He seemed like the cool Charlo, you know, but it is what it is, man. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. We on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter. All my links in the description. Our Facebook group link there too. If you need to get in touch with me, you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation, make sure you hit the subscribe button, bell icon button, thumbs up, comment. But the best way if you've done all that is just share the video, but Cash App, PayPal, description. One time for the one time. Let me know what you think in the comment section. We go.